Welcome back to Katheros. Today we're going to be talking about breaking the cycle. In order for us to heal, we have to be able to break the cycle. But first we want to know what we are up against when we're in the cycle. So first I want to talk about shame. Shame specifically is a hiding pattern. And it's a hiding pattern that keeps us from being able to feel in our body and see the other person on the end of our shame. Maybe when we've hurt somebody or our addiction or sexual behavior has harmed another person, we often cannot see them because shame blocks us from being able to see how our behavior has impacted. Think about Adam and Eve. Remember what they did? First, they hid in the garden when they made a mistake. And then the second thing that they did was that they hid themselves with fig leaves. This is how I see shame. Shame is like this place where we want to cover ourselves. We want to hide from the reality of how we've behaved, the person that we've been, the things that we've done. So the way that we do this is we cover ourselves. We don't let ourselves sit with the reality of our behavior. We don't let ourselves sit with the emotions. We don't let ourselves see how we've impacted other people by our behavior. So the way that we start to break down shame is we just name it. We just say, man, I don't feel good about this right now. I don't feel worthy of love. I don't feel worthy of connection. I don't feel like if you know me that you're going to love me. The way that we dispel shame is just moving towards it instead of doing what we normally want to do, which is to hide and cover ourselves. So that's first. And as we understand when we are in shame and we are curious about it, that kind of moves it out of our body. We don't necessarily feel the same way. I have a lot of clients that will tell me, man, when I just say it, like I actually feel shame right now. I feel really bad about this right now. They get relief in their body, and that opens them up to be able to receive what they need. They need to be able to receive love and connection. Shame actually blocks that because there is an embodied belief attached to that shame. So whether that's if you know me, you won't love me, or I'm never going to be loved, or whatever it is, whatever the belief is that's attached to your shame blocks you from being able to receive love, and specifically God's love for you. So if God says to us that we love because he first loved us, but we cannot receive his love, that puts us in a position of not even being able to extend it out to other people. So we need to be able to allow ourselves to face the shame, remove it, and receive God's love in that place. But we can't do that by just pretending like it doesn't exist. Pretending isn't real. We're not living in reality when we pretend like it doesn't exist on the inside of us. So the more that we allow ourselves to just sit with the reality, okay, right now, maybe you don't feel lovable. Let's sit with that. And let's allow somebody else to hear that and be there in that place for you. That is going to start you on the journey of breaking the cycle. The next thing that you need to do is listen to your lust. Jay Stringer, who's a therapist that's helped many people, talks about this, how when you listen to your lust, it actually gives you a pathway to healing. So let me give you an example of this. Maybe the things that you deal with are specific. For most people, they are. The lusts that they encounter, the things that they're drawn to, they are specific for a reason. They're not there just by chance. I know you probably think that, but it's not the reality. The reality is your lust is telling you something. It's telling you of your story, the story that's unresolved on the inside of you, the story of how you got this way, the story of needs that went unmet, the story of emotions that are being suppressed. So if you actually are curious with yourself, if you go, okay, I have the same thought process, I have the same trigger when it comes to lust, you can discover what's underneath that lust. I know it can seem very scary to listen to your lust because you're used to avoiding it. You're used to either moving towards it compulsively or you're used to trying to stuff it away. So this is going to be very different for you. If this feels a little bit overwhelming to you, I want you to invite somebody into that process because then they can hold the space with you and help you explore it. So you're not moving towards temptation, right? There's a very big difference. I'm not trying to push you into acting out. What I'm trying to do is get you to move towards yourself with curiosity, because curiosity does give us the place to explore what we don't really know what's happening on the inside of us. And we don't know what's really there when things are hidden from us. And so when we are curious about it and we listen to it and we look for what the answers are that are really encoded in these messages of triggers and lust, it allows us to be able to explore what's really there, who we really are underneath all that, the pain that's been pushed away underneath that, and the trauma that's been unresolved. You know, Gabor Mate, he says that trauma is not the event itself, but it's the aloneness of the event that settles trauma in our body. So anytime we're bringing a person into our process, we're giving ourselves the ability to heal in connection and to be able to release the pain that has sat in our body for so long. And lust is often the redirector for that, like where we're not actually knowing what's happening on the inside of us, it's pushing us away from it. But if we're curious with it, it will give us the pathway to healing. We want to go from this place of lust, not necessarily white knuckling ourselves through it or like our willpower alone, because obviously that hasn't worked for you. If it had, you wouldn't be here today. You need to go from willpower to a spirit-led transformation. White knuckling through temptation doesn't work long term. You're going to be able to overcome it for a while, and then you're going to be snapped right back to it when the lust is too much or when the pain is too much and you still don't know how to deal with it in a way that will be transformative for you. So how do we do this? Well, real transformation comes when we invite Jesus into the moment. So this is where I want to invite you into something really powerful. It's called a visualization. I do this a lot with my clients because I find that it's one of the most impactful and transformative things. Remember what I said about aloneness, that the trauma that we encounter really isn't by the event itself, but the aloneness that we feel in the trauma. So we're going to actually bring connection into this place as we do this visualization. What I want you to do is get comfortable where you're sitting, and I want you to picture yourself. Picture yourself trapped in the sexual brokenness. Maybe it's the first place where you discovered porn or where there was a violation. And I want you to first see me there with you as a support, because I'm here now. You hear my voice, and I'm with you on this journey. I'm with you on the healing journey in this moment. And we've been doing this for several weeks now, so you know my voice. So sit with that first. Maybe you can picture me being with you in that space. I know often we want to go to the places of where we are as an adult right now, but often these broken places started very young. So if you have that, picture that and picture me there. And I'm there just to support you. And then I want you to picture Jesus coming into this space. Like he knows the pain and the brokenness. He knows what led you to do what you've been doing. He knows what you're trying to avoid, and he's not afraid. I want you to picture him in that space and allow yourself to just feel what that's like. Like notice the sensations in your body as he's there. He's not ashamed. He's not scared. He can handle it. And he's there with you, and he's wanting to move closer. Notice what happens inside, physically, when you think about that. Allow yourself to feel. And maybe notice his eyes towards you, his eyes of fire, purity, love, and compassion. He embodies unconditional love for you. He is the only person who can do that. And his presence is so important in this visualization. So allow yourself to see that. He died for you in moments that you couldn't even imagine. He died for you in the places where you were not even born yet, and he knew your brokenness. He already knew what you were going to do. And yet he died for you. He paid for you. He said, I want you. I want you to picture it with that kind of love towards you. Allow yourself just to be in that and notice what happens inside. And as you're doing this, maybe take some deep breaths, breathing into his presence. And remember, I'm there with you too, so you're not alone. And notice the love that's coming towards you. Can you receive it? Can you take that in? Does that still feel difficult? If it does, then there's probably shame present. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to picture handing me that shame and holding the gaze of Jesus. Okay, did you hand it to me? Okay, if you did, then I want you to notice what's happening inside as you're looking into the eyes of Jesus. And he's with you in the struggle. And he's going to continue to be with you in the struggle as long as you allow him to. If you closed your eyes, I want you to open them. Just kind of notice what's happening in your body. What emotions are you feeling as you're in this space? Wow, to be able to see Jesus with you in the struggle, and he's not running and he's not freaked out. He wants to be there. Notice what that feels like. This is a part of the journey. The more that you can allow Jesus into the space with you, the more you're going to get relief from the shame that's leading you to go back to acting out sexually in ways that cause more shame. It's like this cycle of shame, right? You've been trying to escape shame by numbing and escaping with porn or sexual acting out, and then there's more shame that gets lumped into it. It is a hamster wheel, vicious cycle that will never end until we start dismantling the shame. Remember the woman at the well with Jesus? He literally met her in the middle of her sin. It was like he absolutely wanted to be there in that process with her and remind her of, yes, what she did. He was very clear about what she did. He had high truth with her. He was not covering the truth. He wasn't pretending like it didn't exist. He wanted her to know, I know what you've done, and yet I've come to meet you. I've come to show you who you actually are. And I'm not afraid of what you've done. I'm willing to go on the journey with you. And this is where he's at with you. Just like the woman at the well. He wasn't afraid of her story. He didn't condemn her for it. He just knew what the truth was. And he was like, and I came to meet you. This is his response to you. And I want you to remember that anytime that the shame comes, his response to you is perfect love. His response to you is to meet you every single time. His desire for you is to be connected at all times. And he understands when that's difficult, and he's there and he's just waiting for you to return to him.